Alright.
You have random people coming in?
No, yeah, I joined.
God.
Two dogs.
Sorry, I got excited. You can be. Okay, Spooky and his gang are being charged with possession of firearms, weapons, drug trafficking, drug possession. How do you plead, Spooky?
Not guilty.
Not guilty, my ass. Joey, you can give your case.
I'll start with my opening statement, Your Honor, if you don't mind. So, me and my team, from what we've seen, we've developed enough evidence, we believe, on the honor of the court, that drug trafficking has been involved, illegal possession of a firearm, as well as illegal use of drugs as well. We have enough sufficient evidence, we believe, to back up the case, as well as certain witnesses that will back up those certain statements. That is what we are here for today, and we thank you for having us in this courtroom.
Joey, you can start off the court trial now.
Okay. Your Honor, by the way, you look absolutely fantastic, I must say. Good-looking penguin.
Objection, Your Honor.
But-
Your looks have nothing to do with the case present.
Overruled.
Thank you. Love the hair. As we state, this man, Spooky King, with double O's, double zeros, might I say, we believe that he has been drug trafficking quite a bit of paraphernalia. We look over at these documents on the screen. We could see on January 1st, 3rd, and 5th, he actually met up on 7th Street, and we have surveillance footage showing that he was indeed trafficking illegal substances. Now, if you take a look at number 3 that I would like put on the screen, number 3 of my evidence batch that me and my team have picked together, we see a rose and a spoon. So, Spooky here he's been in a lovesick relationship. It's been messing up his mind quite frequently. That's what the rose determines. And he hasn't been being spooned too much by his ex-fiancée, which has been causing him quite some distress, so he's turned to the use of drugs. And these drugs, not only for himself, but have been pressed upon the civilians of this country and this city, in which we see in evidence number 9. More documents. So these documents show that he has been going for psychiatric help. And he's been taking drugs. And not only just taking them for himself, he's been selling them on the streets. On the streets to innocent civilians, jacking up the price, going through insurance companies. The charges are immense, but only for today we're just talking about 3. If you go to number 5 on the evidence wheel, I will show you that the knife and the sword and the gun and the bat were used for him to kind of protect his drug paraphernalia. He's an evil man. And I can't believe John Dinkelberg is defending him. But that's another story. And if you look at evidence number 1, I'd like to show you, it's a tablet. It's a tablet we've seen all his clients, his drug clients, and I don't know what that is, but I think it's Play-Doh. And he's been using Play-Doh to kind of put the drugs inside, and he's been trafficking them from airline to airline, on our city streets, everywhere. And for my last, I'd like to show you number 8, evidence 8, which should seal this case and show you nothing. That is his brain now. He is nothing and has taken us and these city streets to nothing. I rest my case. Thank you, Your Honor.
Oh my god.
Spooky, you may state your case.
Alright. The people of the court, the judge, the jury, the judge's translator, whose affiliation to the plaintiff is of question here. I'm here to prove the innocence of Spooky King. There is absolutely no evidence, none to be seen, for Spooky doing drugs or even distributing drugs. Remember those roses? He was giving those to children in the children's hospital. He was being a good man. He was spoon-feeding infants who didn't have a mother. Does this look like the face of a man who would sell drugs to ruin all that he's worked hard for, to destroy everything he's become? I rest my case, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor. As we see, he states the roses and the spoon. If we could go to evidence number 2, up there, which we haven't seen yet, and I'd like to show you. That is the disguise he used to try to be a cop. His mustache and his bad shield. So now he was, indeed, trying to spoon-feed kids and give them roses and anything. Just so he could get access to that shield and mustache to continue his evil doings and deeds of corrupting our city streets and our children. How dare you, the children, with all these drugs and all this violence that you put on our city streets. And for the last, number 4, evidence number 4, I'd like to show you the map. And this just isn't your ordinary map. This is the map of all the top clients that he uses. If you see in that little circle down there, he called that his ovary. His ovary. How sick must he be to call something like that his ovary, where he holds all his drug paraphernalia and his weapons? This is, to me, Your Honor, I'm sorry, I'm getting a little, I apologize, I'm just getting a little, we talk about the women and children and, you know, doing good things for them, and this man just wants to kind of twist his evil doings with a rose and spoon, when we know he's been mentally unstable due to his ex-relationship with his ex-fiancée, which led him to deal drugs, which then led him to be in poverty from money, which then in turn led him to use illicit things to go onto our streets and make more profit. I rest my case, Your Honor. Thank you.
Any counter argument on Spooky's side?
Yes, I would like to call the first witness, Spooky King, to the stand. Alright. Mr. King,
Yes.
have you ever worn a mustache?
No, I have not.
Have you ever been married?
No, I have not been married.
Do you think posing as an officer is a very appropriate thing to do?
No, I do not think that's appropriate.
I rest my case.
Your Honor, I would like to cross-examine Spooky King.
Any witnesses for Joey?
Yes, to cross-examine it. Spooky, you gotta go back up there. You gotta cross-examine it.
Good evening, Spooky King.
Evening.
How's it going? Tell us about the ovary circle. Tell us about the ovary circle.
I do not know what that is, okay? I don't know what that is. And I plead the fifth.
We found the map in your... All right. We found the map in your apartment. It was underneath your bed. Tucked away. underneath that nice little bed you have.
Spooky.
We found some other things, just a couple of notebooks, some diaries, some things. But this map had a number on it, a number 2. We took it back to your diary and saw number 2 by a man named Tony Karachalukas. Tony's a big drug dealer here in the States. And he was seen located in ovary section where you had planted your drugs and your guns. So I'm going to ask one last time. Tell us about the ovaries.
Again, I don't know what you're talking about, okay?
Your Honor, can you please put up number 6 for me? Nothing. That is your case. You have nothing. We know what's going on. You have absolutely nothing to hold your statement. You can plead the 5th all you want. But just know, the VRPD, the Courtroom, the Justice, and America, and the United Nations, and everyone will take you down. Thank you, Your Honor.
Spooky, you can be seated. I'd like to ask this time if there's any other witnesses for either side.
I would like to call Sacred Bunny to the stand.
Thank you, Your Honor. Listen, we might
How
be
funny.
assuming that he was getting drugs for the kids, okay? We might be assuming that he spent most of his time in his ovary, okay? But in all reality, to back up everything, it was all for the kids. The drugs, the kids that couldn't afford drugs, their medication, Spooky was there to provide it for him. He wasn't distributing that to anybody. I mean, I don't know how you can look at this man in the face and not see an innocent man. Look at him. See? Can't get up to you. Come here. Look. This man right here is the most innocent thing I've ever seen. Okay? And you should be ashamed if you're agreeing with this man over here. Alright? I rest my case.
Thank you, Your Honor. Can you put up number 5 for me, please? I believe it's number 5. Are those for the kids? The sword? The knife? The bat and the gun? Are those for the kids? No! I don't think so. So you could take what you say about this man. He's so innocent. And he does it for the kids. And what a great man. I'll say it again. Is a knife for the kids? I didn't think so.
Hey,
I-
it's actually a butter knife, alright?
Your
That is
Honor.
not a stabbing knife.
Your Honor. Can you keep him in line? Thank you. Butter knife, you say? Butter knife, were you going to feed the kids? Was that it?
I mean, he
Put
has
up
been
number
feeding
8,
the
please,
kids.
Your Honor, if you don't mind. Evidence section number 8. Nothing! You have no case! I rest my case! Thank you.
Your Honor, I'd like to call Adam to the stand for questioning. All right, Mr. Adam, can you tell me the events that transpired the night Spooky King was arrested?
Well, we gotten tipped off that he was somewhere in the Great Pug. So we went to arrest him on some weapons charges. Whenever we did come in contact with Spooky, he did have there was drugs present, and they were the only ones upstairs. Spooky and some of his accomplices was upstairs. A couple people pulled weapons on us. We had to get them where they actually complied with us. But no, there was drugs and weapons up there. So
Did Mr. King have any weapons? Did he have any drugs?
Silence.
last time or whenever we pat him down, no, I did not find no weapons on him. There was a little bit of white substance around his hands. We did find crack cocaine that was in a pillowcase upstairs.
Okay, so I have a question for you. If I went to the PD and there was a pillowcase of cocaine in the PD, does that mean you've been trafficking drugs? Does that mean you have been dealing with illegal weapons? Does that mean you have
sir?
been messing up the lives of children?
Well, see, that's all confiscated weapons, drugs. It's all evidence. We're currently working on multiple different cases right now. The last time I checked, Spooky King was not an officer of the law. So if he does have possession over drugs or illegal substances or weapons that are illegal, then yes, that's breaking the law. He should be getting in contact with the local law enforcement to sit there and get them to come and handle these items, not him handling those items by himself.
Yeah, but you said there was none found on him other than white substance on his hand, which, look at that fro, could have been dandruff. Your Honor, I rest my case.
Calcium powder. That's what it is. He's made of bones. He's trying to make his bones stronger. That's all it was. Mm-mm.
He does that can be either now. Joey, do you have any witnesses that you'd like to examine?
Yes, for my last one, I'd like to bring Adam back to the stage, please. How's it going, Adam? How are you today, sir?
Doing all right. How about yourself?
I'm quite well. You are, I must say, one of VRPD's finest. You are a fantastic cop. That's what I've heard from many, many people. You are a fantastic cop.
You're a terrible cop.
I just want to go over a few things. So based on your reports that you and your team have led, does Spooky over there still reside at 127 Loli Road?
Yes, sir. He does still reside there.
Okay. Thank you very much. And
The place of residence have nothing to do with this case.
Overruled.
thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate it. And does Mr. Spooky over here still have the same phone number based in your records of 764-555-3372?
Yes, sir. I do believe records do have that.
Excellent.
as his
So
phone number.
what I'm seeing here from these documents that were shown on the screen and that were publicly released by the VRPD is that on January 14th, a search warrant was actually issued to 127 Loli Road. And you and your team did meet with Spooky King beforehand and enter his residence. Now inside there, based on your report, you have found numerous things. You have found a pillow filled with illicit drugs. You have found different diaries, different clients. And based on the text messages, you have ways to believe that on January 15th as well, that Spooky King did, in fact, text one of the biggest drug dealers in the city. Is that correct? These are based on your actual writings from you and your team. Is that correct?
I do believe so. I'd have to sit there and look back at the reports.
So, Your Honor, what I'd like to say is based on these fantastic cops, especially this one right here. We know that their writing in an affidavit and a search report cannot be wrong. Completely justified. You guys did everything the justice system ordered. You guys handled it with a search warrant. You took Mr. Spooky, you read him his rights, you did a search on the whole premises, and you did, in fact, find illicit drugs. Now, whether the charges for trafficking be determined, one thing's for sure, that this man did indeed have drugs in his possession, in his property. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes, he does. He did have drugs nearby. Upstairs, there wasn't no other people up there. We detained everyone. We pulled them in for questioning. So yeah, he had drugs upstairs.
He had drugs upstairs in 127 Loli Road, correct?
Yes, sir.
I rest my case. Thank you, Your Honor.
I can be. Emmett says he wants Spooky to do a closing. What was that last part? Penguins still with me. Argument.
People of the jury, Judge Emmett, the body of the court themselves. My client did absolutely nothing wrong. There was only the possibility of having drugs. But we need to find, if we're finding Spooky guilty, then it has to be beyond reasonable doubt. And there is reasonable doubt within this case. Spooky King is an innocent man. I rest my case, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor. And with my closing statement, drugs are a horrible thing. So is illegal weapons. We're all civilians in this country, in this VR world, as you would say. There's no reason to let things get in the way of the true good nature of humans. When women or exes or relationships we have with family and friends start to deteriorate, there's no reason to turn to drugs. There's no reason to sell them and corrupt the innocent people of the streets. There's no reason to that. And today, we've learned, based on your birth certificate, your place of residence, Mr. Spooky's whereabouts, that he indeed did have drugs inside his place of residence, as stated in the police reports. Now, one could say, maybe it's not his, maybe it's someone else's. You could say that. But we know where he lives, based on his actual residence, on the statements. We have statements from actual police officers, witnesses, and I'm going to say, drugs should not be used in the virtual world. Drugs should not be used by anybody. And to corrupt the people of this world with your evil doings is disgusting. And I would just like to say, I want no part of it, and a man like this needs to be locked up by our amazing, fantastic cops, such as the VRPD. Thank you, Your Honor.
I think you said let the jury deliberate.
Alright, I need the jury come with me to the back to discuss everything that had happened. This way.
So Spooky, we got
It was a setup.
his face. He's probably got a bagel up there, dude. Some
I can't get over Emmett's voice.
bagel.
I need you all to divert your.
He's going down. We got you, man.
John.
Listen to that
Yes.
dirty liar over there.
Yeah, this liar over here
Yes,
trying to
sir.
tell Adam that he's a good
Yeah.
cop, and obviously he said he wasn't a good cop. Thanks,
What does
Joey.
Joey look like? He's a part of a mob.
Bowie.
Yeah. Yeah, Joey Jangles.
Sacred Bunny has me blocked, I think.
Buddy!
I can't see them.
Harassing the police officers.
Do you have shy block?
I am a police officer.
Do I have who?
Give the judgment.
Say quit harassing your fellow officers.
Yeah, he's up. Oh,
I'll harass you.
I'd like that.
I'm sure you would, you sick son of a bitch. Look at you with that banana. I know what you're doing with that banana.
I do have shy block.
Guilty. Wait, what?
what?
What? Yeah, you just
The jury didn't even say anything!
No!
What?
This is outrage.
That was like 2 members of the jury!
Judge Emmett says 30 years
Alright.
in prison for
Wait, what?
Spooky.
You're finally going down.
This is an outrage.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Oh my god.
30 years?
Court is adjourned.
Yes.
Boo!
Hey, I'm having
Outrage!
a party over at my place. Anybody wants to come?
Come on.
This is outrage.
Alright,
Corruption!
Joey.
Spooky,
Hey,
this
yo,
way.
Joey.
Come on, this way, come on.
Hey, this is a mistake! Hey!
No,
this is a
this way.
mistake! No, hey!
Come on.
Joey.
Fuck bagels!
Such a great service. You guys do great service to this community.
Hey man, what are we gonna do?
Fantastic.
I
Joey,
forgot my
hope you know
one
he's
line.